Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back.
Off to Witterton, are ye? Bonnet tune that. Just the folk a be on shite. Off to Witterton, are ye? Bonnet tune that. Just the folk a be on shite.
Now I'm gonna save here because we have few choices to make and I wanna show you all of the choices with consequences. So see you back at this spot.
As they neared Wetterton, the Queen ordered her company to halt. She then sent men to the town for supplies. Those sent returned more quickly than she'd assumed they would, their satchels empty, their mounts foaming at the mouth.
Your Majesty, the townsfolk have gone right mad. Herded all the elves and dwarves at Market Square. 'Tis a slaughter.
The Queen knew well that if she failed to intervene, the town's streets would flow with non-human blood. Just as she knew her meager force might not subdue an enraged crowd.
Okay, so first let's move on without entering.
After some deliberation, the Queen turned to her force.
Cities and towns I've fought in. Narrow alleys I've seen more difficult to overrun than many a castle. For a handful of arbalists in high windows can wreak great carnage. Losses of a magnitude we cannot now abide.
Maeve's footmen dropped their gazes. They knew the decision their queen had reached. Quickly, they prepared to march. That evening, as Reynard drilled the troops, he found more than a dozen missing. They were the non-humans supporting Maeve's company, dwarven craftsmen, elven scouts and guides, who had disappeared quietly. It was clear to all they would not serve a monarch who held the lives of friends and kin in such low regard.
So as you can see, we lost a few men. And now let's reload. Okay, now let's intervene.
What is your command, your grace?
Reynard's question pierced the silence.
What can it be, dear friend?
Answered the Queen, then spurred her mount and rode off towards the town. Her troops followed, running as fast as their legs would carry them. When they passed inside the town gate, they saw corpses lining the gutters. Maeve realized she had arrived too late to prevent a tragedy. The crowd was drunk on blood. Its rage would need to be quelled with an iron fist.
Okay, so this is a puzzle with special rules and a shortened battle.
Step away, or see your heads bounce down the cobblestones! Reynard, who started this? I must know.
Okay, I used this card because this one will get boosted by other cards.
So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
Now let's use this
You
one.
can try to win them all, but you won't.
Now let's move these cards. And let's put this one.
Her Majesty knows we must strike the largest clusters! Disperse them up!
Now let's return these cards. And now this card has 6 damage, which means it will one-shot all of these cards.
Happily, Meve restored order without suffering any losses. Reynard then learned that a nobleman's ire had triggered the violence, ire at having discovered a theft.
Suspicion fell on the non-humans he employed. He accused them, they protested, and the row soon engulfed the town. But there's something else, Your Grace.
Reynard gestured towards an aged man who stood grieving, his face in his hands.
I've witnesses who claim the strays of Sparla are the thieves.
Though the tragedy seemed the result of a misunderstanding, justice would have to be served. Those responsible for the slaughter would need to be punished. The question was, how severely?
So, should we hang the people? Or should we whip them? Let's hang them first.
Your excuses I cannot accept.
Said the Queen.
The vipers who called for the slaughter, they will hang. The rest...
Majesty!
A townswoman fell to Meve's feet.
Mercy, please! 'Twere words taken wrong, a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? To don another's cape, pay out insufficient change, these are misunderstandings. What happened here was criminal, and you'll be punished as criminals.
The condemned were hanged at once, without regard to the protests of kith and kin. Those non-humans who had managed to hide and survive made a most generous donation in gold to bolster the Queen's force. I'd like to say Wetterton's small melting pot of races lived on in harmony. Yet alas, I'm not in the habit of propagating untruths.
So, as you saw, we got some gold, but we lost some of our army morale. Okay, now let's whip the man.
You are guilty. That can't be denied.
Said the Queen, turning towards the bloody rioting's instigators.
A false rumour you took, and turned into a cruel lynch. Thus punishment is your lot. A public lashing, fines, imprisonment. But you shall keep your lives, for enough blood has been spilt here this day.
Wetterton's inhabitants breathed a sigh of relief, but the non-human survivors took offense at the lenient sentence. Soon after, the Lyrian army's elves and dwarves quietly disappeared, deserted. Few doubted the reason. They would not risk their necks for a queen who held their lives in such low regard.
Okay, so we raised our army morale, but we didn't lose any of our men. Even though it said that some of the dwarves and elves left our army. Now, let me know down below in the comments which choice would you make here and why. And also, let me know if you would like me to continue this way to show you all of the choices and all of the consequences. Or would you like me just to take one choice and consequence and warn you about the others?
They should have stayed put beneath their mount. We'd not have had no problem then. They should have stayed put beneath their mount. We'd not have had no problem then.
Okay, so here we can lose 2 men and gain 200 gold. Let's do it.
The Lyrians entered the graveyard. Crickets chirped in its tall, windswept grass, and lush green moss covered its crumbling gravestones. Only a fresh bloodstain upon a mausoleum wall suggested that something disturbed the dead in their rest and hunted the living.
Save your tears, throw off your grief.
An eerie voice sang, its ghastly lament standing Maeve's hair on end.
Soon your life too shall cease as you pass into the eternal glow.
A pockmarked, pustule-ridden creature crawled out from behind some gravestones. It vaguely resembled a shriveled, hunchbacked hag, until its head split into two halves, forming a tooth-spiked maw.
Attack! Everyone!
Okay, this is a puzzle with special rules and a shortened battle. We need to kill this grave hag.
Time I taught you some respect.
One gold's all I need. My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
What was that filth?
The queen croaked hoarsely as the dying monster writhed in agony at her feet.
I know not, your grace,
Replied Reynard.
but to be safe, I would have the corpse chopped up and burned. Elsewise, we will not be certain it shall not return.
Yes, have it done.
Maeve said, brushing her hair from her beaded brow.
But quickly, lest dusk catch us in this foul place.
The Lyrians soon resumed their march. As they left the cemetery behind them, some believed they still heard the haunting dirge upon the air. Or was it just the wind, whistling past mossy tombstones?
Nice, we got a new card. Let's see, what did we get? Okay, for 100 gold we can get a piece of a card.
Well. Seems humans are near the same after all. Well, nothing left in Wetterton for me now. Close me shop and share the road with you.
Nice. Now, I would like to take this. So let's take it. Okay, this is another puzzle with special rules and a shortened battle. Eliminate all drowners. Do not let any of your allies die.
One boat.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Nice, we got a new treasure map. Which is located at this spot. And with this we got a Gwent card for multiplayer. Okay, now let's go up. But first, let's loot this location. Okay, sell wood for gold or buy wood for gold. I'm gonna go with gold at the moment. So let's sell some wood. And now let's go up.
Kneel and pay homage to the gods. You shall be rewarded. Melitele watches over us all, yet you do well to remind her through supplication. There is ever time for prayer, even as war rages all around. Pleased to see ye yearn for the holy word, milady. I'll keep ye in my prayers to the Mother Goddess. There is ever time for prayer, even as war rages all around. There is ever time for prayer, even as war rages all around. Kneel and pay homage to the gods. You shall be rewarded.
Okay, so we got something from this lady. I don't know, was it the army morale or... It was probably army morale.
Travelling the high road, they heard the bells of a temple to Mother Melitele, situated at some distance. Meve turned towards Reynard.
What have we today? A sacred feast?
Not that I recall, Your Grace.
The Queen's brow darkened, her hands clenched into fists on her reins.
Then they sound the alarm. Follow me!
Stained glass shards glinted in the grass. Bits of down, ripped from quilts, wafted through the air. The priestesses, gathered in the yard, were seeing to wounded pilgrims, setting toppled, oft beheaded or armless statues back on their feet.
What happened here?
The strays of Spala fell upon us.
Sighed the prioress.
Stole the offerings, the monstrances, holy books. My lady, I implore you, come to our aid, recover what's rightly ours.
Ever clever, Meve's scouts soon discovered the bandits' tracks. They led to some thick hazel groves east of the temple. The perfect place to hide, or to lie in ambush.
It's all come clear now. Sabotage. 'Twas the bandits who weakened the walls.
The good mother warned us. Hard times lie ahead. The good mother warned us. Hard times lie ahead. The good mother warned us. Hard times lie ahead.
Disturbed. Something digs up their graves, opens their tombs.
By the way, we also have this treasure map, and it's located right here.
Your Majesty, turn back! There, something wicked lurks.
The dead, as they rest, are disturbed. Something digs up their graves, opens their tombs. The dead, as they rest, are disturbed. Something digs up their graves, opens their tombs.
Okay, so we've got another puzzle. Weaken each enemy to 1 power.
You can try to win them all, but you won't. Can't take it anymore.
If you insist.
One bolt. Give me a time.
Okay, get 150 gold for losing a army morale. Let's do it.
Your Majesty, you return! Our prayers have been answered! May the Mother Goddess watch over you. Your Majesty, you return! Our prayers have been answered!
So as you can see, we got our army morale back.
Your Majesty, you
So we need that key for this spot.
Wheel ruts. The strays, no doubt. They must be nearby.
To ravage statues of the Good Mother, how dare they?
Okay, let's repair this. And we got another piece of this card.
To ravage statues of the Good Mother, how dare they? To ravage statues of the Good Mother, how dare... To ravage...
The bandits had pitched camp in a nearby wood. Spirits buoyed by the wine they'd stolen from the cloister cellar, the brigands had not posted sentries.
Another round! To the sisters!
Maeve's soldiers were eager, insistent. The desecrators would be punished. Yet only the Queen could order the assault. Maeve decided she and her company would ride on. Evidently, she concluded, it was not the time to send her men chasing brigands through the underbrush. The Lyrians arrayed themselves once more at the edge of the meadow where the bandits were encamped. The Queen put her hand to her hilt. Maeve decided she and her company would ride on. Evidently, she concluded, it was not the time to send her men chasing brigands through the underbrush. The Lyrians arrayed themselves...
High time we put these strays on a leash.
Spat the Queen, spurring her horse.
To arms! Follow me!
Tankards clattered to the ground as the strays reached for their weapons. The brigands would not even fathom giving up without a fight.
Okay, so now we need to choose which cards do we want to remove. So let's remove this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one.
Surround them!
Left, right, left, right.
Looking to dance, mate?
Okay, this one gives us to play the top blitz unit from our deck.
Aye.
What you looking at?
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
The mist's gonna pass me those lovely earrings? Or do I tear 'em?
Regroup!
I'm coming.
Stick 'em up! High as the clouds! Now!
Arbalista, your command.
You can pay the toll in one of two ways. In silver or in blood.
Armor won't say.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Cork it.
Company! Forward march!
One bullet's all I need.
Gotta get our asses moving. If you insist.
Give me a target.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target. Thing about slings, they hide well.
The Queen's company defeated the bandits and recovered the loot. Silver chalices, reliquaries lined with mother of pearl, gold-embroidered robes.
The priestesses would be grateful to have their treasures returned, Your Grace. They would pray ardently for your victory.
Reynard opined.
Yet, you could also keep the silver, expend it on the war effort. And who's to say which, prayer or coin, would be more useful?
Let's see. Should we keep the loot or return it? Okay, let's keep it. And then let's return it.
Melitele will understand.
Meve answered, after a moment's consideration. Then she ordered the Abbey's treasures loaded onto her wagons. As they went on their way over uneven ground, each clink and clank reminded the Queen that to save her realm, she had stolen from the gods.
So we got lots of gold, but we lost the army morale. Let's return to the monastery to see what will the priestesses say.
Your judgment we leave to the gods, but they'll be swift with it, swifter than you think. Your judgment we leave... Your judgment... Your judgment...
To steal from priestesses? Why, you've stolen from the gods, you have. To steal from priestesses? Why, you've stolen from the gods, you have.
And now let's reload. Okay, now let's return the treasure.
Hard times the realm now endures.
The Queen said, after a pause.
Yet this can't justify a lapse in principles. No. We must defend them all the more.
Meve ordered everything returned to the priestesses. All of it, down to the last gulden. Moved by the Queen's gesture, some of the novitiates joined Meve's ranks, aiming to bring succor to any Lyrian wounded in battle. Queen and company rode off with no gold to show for their toil, but most certainly richer in spirit.
And we also got a new card.
Sure you can bind a rabid dog, tie his four legs together, but you'll not stop him from lashing out and biting. Aroo! You've bested us, aye. Sure you can Aroo! Aroo! Sure you can Sure you... Aroo! 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 Sure you can... Aroo! Sure you... Sure you... Aroo! Aroo! You've bested us, aye. But you'll not find the Duke of Dogs near as easy prey. Oh, no! Sure you can bind a rabid dog, tie his four legs together, but you'll not stop him from lashing out and biting.
Now let's see what will priestesses say.
Thank you, Your Majesty, on our own behalf and on that of our pilgrims. Thank you, Your Majesty, on our own... Thank you, Your Majesty, on our own behalf and on that of our pilgrims.
Melitele will not forget your sacrifice, nor will her faithful servants. Melitele will... Melitele...
I'm coming, I'm coming. One goes. Give me a time.
Keep calm, Tiberius.
I will listen to your command. I'm a woman, sir.
Again and again and again.
We must trust each other.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Take it anymore.
Ha!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Left, right, left, right.
eh?
Tell me you jest.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Should've listened to me old lady.
What do you want of me?
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Oh, yes. Hell yeah. Okay, so we've got a key which opens this door.
Kneel and pay homage to the gods. You shall be rewarded.
Those bandits, dressed as demons they was, horns on their heads and pig snouts instead of noses. Beware, some bandits on thy road round Dawn, those that call themselves the Strays. Beware, 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 those bandits, beware.
And we will continue this in the next episode. So if you liked this one, give it a like, dislike if you think it sucked, and see you next time. Thank you.